Well, it's September, everyone, and y'all know what that means. What is going on, everybody? It is DylanLasagna here. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the inevitability that is a Nintendo Direct that is going to be happening probably this month, but even if it doesn't, we can reflect back on history when we're much older and say, wow, this video aged well, and all this talk about the September 2019 Nintendo Direct aged well as well. But for real, let's talk about this Nintendo Direct that's probably going to happen, because it's probably going to happen because of a variety of factors. So why is the Direct likely? Well, first start off with how there's a whole bunch of games rumored for the Switch, ranging from the list of SKUs on GameStop's like little run sheet that's been running around social media. SKUs are just like these list of unlisted titles that just says SKU, and it just has like a little like tentative date. Normally it's like the end of the year, and then like, yeah, that's pretty much it, like December 31st, 2019, for example. Then there's like a specific Power A case, and it's themed around a specific game, which was listed on Amazon on August 25th, I believe. August 25th by Wario64 on Twitter, but it was quickly deleted from that Amazon.com. So there was that as well. But as always, like with all these other rumors, we have to take all the game rumors that we're hearing about with big grains of salt in our eyes. Then we have that Tokyo Game Show that everyone's talking about, and normally that happens around after Direct or before a September Direct. Then there's our good old favorite industry insider that has a pretty good track record, I guess, that everyone claims that she has, Emily Rogers. She said that there's going to be a Direct happening this month, so there's her. And lastly, but most importantly, Nintendo Switch Online subscriptions are, for most people, are going to be up this month, and Nintendo has to convince people to resub or make new people join in. So this is a pretty big Direct for September, if and when it happens. So let's discuss some of my personal expectations after I just did a pretty long intro. So when is it going to happen? When is this Nintendo Direct going to happen? Because that's the first thing everyone wants to know. Well, we're not for sure if it is going to happen, but that's personally me. But according to our great Emily Rogers, who again has had a personal, credible track record of correctly predicting Nintendo Directs according to everyone, she said on a Reset Era forum on August 30th that a September Nintendo Direct could take place in the first week. But, as I said before, take this with a big grain of salt in your eyes. But even then, even looking at Emily Rogers' claim on Reset Era, this makes the most sense, because just looking at Nintendo's schedule for the rest of September, and just looking at the outlook of September, you have the Switch Lite, Link's Awakening, and the renewals for Switch Online in that month alone, because it's like, and all those three things that I just mentioned are in the third week. So it's like trying to cram in a Nintendo Direct in like even in the second week, and especially the third week, would be overwhelming for Nintendo fans. And it's not like, it doesn't even give them enough time to decide if they want to participate in any of the three things that I just mentioned. So I think the first week would be very comfortable for Nintendo. It's just a matter of when they're going to announce they're going to have that Nintendo Direct in that first week. You already know how Nintendo Directs goes if you follow them, but the majority of them have been the reveal of new games, but also at the same time we get new details on already announced games, and pretty much going to follow the same pattern here. But let's first talk about the already announced games, shall we? But some that come to mind, I think that I kind of will expect at this Direct will be obviously Link's Awakening. It's probably going to get that last push before it comes out on September 20th. You'll probably get like the Mario Maker 2 treatment, where it just got like a sizzle reel like segment Luigi's Mansion 3, that's coming out on Halloween. They'll probably reveal like a few new details. I don't think they need to explain more on that game unless it's like there's like some kind of new mode. Pokemon Sword and Shield, I don't think it'll get like any airtime at all in this direct, aside from like a little teaser in the sizzle reel segment, because I think Nintendo probably likely have like its separate direct for Pokemon Sword and Shield before it comes out in November. Animal Crossing New Horizons, maybe, but it's still a long ways out before March. And like with Pokemon Sword and Shield, I expect Animal Crossing to get its own direct. And I mean, even though I'm not a big Animal Crossing fan, I mean, it's still a big franchise. It's still a big series, and people love it so much, and I think it will benefit from its own direct. The Breath of the Wild sequel, I don't expect this at all, but I mean, it would be nice, but we just got it at E3. Like, we just got that teaser at E3, so I don't expect anything from the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Bayonetta 3, I'm not sure about this one, because we just got Astral Chain last week, and I think it'd be too soon for Bayonetta 3 to like to get any details about Bayonetta 3, but at the same time, we need something. We need something to see about this game. I mean, I like the Bayonetta series, and it's just a weird like compromise, you know. But we do need something about this game. Like, we need an indication that Bayo 3 is still like in progress. And last but not least, we obviously have our like third-party games that are currently announced. I don't think we'll see any more of Spyro because that's coming out very soon. But we will see some of Witcher 3, NBA 2K20, Doom Eternal, probably even the Aladdin, Lion King games that are coming to the Switch, and probably some more third-party games that I don't even know of. So they'll probably have that in that little sizzle reel segment that you normally see. The great parts about these Nintendo Directs are what's newly announced, what's newly revealed, what's gonna shock people at these Nintendo Directs. And while there are a few games on the rumor mill, there are probably also ones that I don't know about, and yet they're heating up for a lot of people. Again, take these rumors, take these like game announcements that are flowing up with big grains of salt and splash them in their face. The biggest rumor mill that's been going on for the past 2 weeks now is Overwatch. Overwatch possibly coming to the Switch. Now, the reason why this all started was because of a Powerade case that was tweeted out by Wario64 on Twitter, and it was listed on Amazon but quickly delisted, and it was all Overwatch themed, and it gave people the indication that Overwatch may be revealed at the next Nintendo Direct. And I would absolutely love Overwatch to come to the Nintendo Switch, but at the same time, I was thinking to myself, why only now? But at the same, even then, I'm still happy it's coming. So, we need more shooters. We need more shooters to come to the Switch. The only concern for me about Overwatch being on the Switch would be if it would have the basic online features, because if you see games like Splatoon 2, it doesn't have native voice chat. Come on, Nintendo, what are you doing? But Overwatch on Switch should be a great add if announced. It's just a matter of if the basic online features are implemented, and just as long Tracer does not get announced as one of the final fighters in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass. Speaking of which, speaking of Smash, we need to know when Banjo and Kazooie is going to be released, on who are going to be the final two characters in the DLC pass are. With Banjo, I think Nintendo could do yet another shadow drop, or they might do something like with Hero and do its own separate segment with Banjo Kazooie and do a little showcase with him and then shadow drop him. And I think that would be the most likely scenario. There's when I started recording this, there's been this speculation going around about who could possibly be the final one of the final two characters. And one of them is like this weird like SNK kind of character. I don't know what the hell SNK is, but it's like this yet another Japanese kind of series, or like kind of developer that makes these kind of games that compete with Capcom. I don't know. It's like, but even then, it doesn't look that interesting to me, and it gives me another reason why I questioned myself to waste money on the Smash Fighters pass. But regardless, it's just a rumor. It's just a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. And regardless, whoever the final two characters are, even then, it will just be a tricky out, because it could be anybody at this point. But personal opinion side, I hope it's Crash Bandicoot. I really hope it's Crash Bandicoot, because it's like, there's so much history, there's so much legacy. Yes, we have Banjo-Kazooie, but Crash Bandicoot deserves this so much. He deserves it so much. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. So another rumor that has been flying around is a Call of Duty game possibly coming to the Switch. We don't know if it's going to be announced at the Direct, but it's just been flying out there. This is because players had the ability to link their Nintendo accounts to their Call of Duty accounts, and this was from Nintendo Soup. The game that gets announced is the real question, because Activision quickly debunked Modern Warfare coming to the Switch, so pretty much it's not coming to the Switch still, despite like this new speculation. But does that mean a Call of Duty game is coming to the Switch, whether or not it's the new Modern Warfare game? That remains to be seen. But again, take this rumor with a big grain of salt. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again in this video. And in regards to what other games could be coming out in this Direct, like newly revealed games, if we're following like past trends in the Direct, you can expect more indie games, which I don't mind. But it's like, at the same time, you're probably gonna see more mobile phone games that don't deserve to be on the Switch. We talked about when it could happen, what games could be shown off, what games were rumored. Now let's talk about the big thing, the big one. Now, the games are obviously the highlight of the Direct. When the Direct is gonna happen is obviously the thing that riles people up. But what makes this inevitable September 2019 Nintendo Direct one of the most, if not the most important Nintendo Directs ever, is trying to convince people to stay with Nintendo Switch Online. Last year, Nintendo did a showcase of their great online service in the best way possible. They talked a big game on how the online was going to basically be the same as it was when it was free, except it was going to be locked behind a paywall with very little benefits. Now, let's talk about those benefits, shall we? So let's reflect back on year one of the Nintendo Switch Online service for people that subscribe to it anyway. The online, well, during my experience with the 1 week free trial, it was pretty much the same thing when it was free. At least in the case of Splatoon 2, it was pretty much free-flowing. And Mario Kart, I did a little bit of that and it was fine. But Smash and Mario Kart, two of your flagship titles, man, that was like two of the biggest slaps in the face to Nintendo fans. The online was bad. I played mostly Smash Online during my trial, but I've seen the videos for Mario Maker 2, and God, those servers are trash, man. The lag, the slowdown, the significant slowdown, it was awful. It looked awful, and thank God I never picked it up. I understand not everything and everyone can be picture perfect, and not everyone has the great internet that most people have, but at least have the servers, which need to be dedicated. That's a debate for another time. The servers need to be compatible. They need to run, in general, no lag, no delay. Even with the pretty good internet, I still got big time lag during my trial run. in Smash, and even in third-party games like CTR, there were occasional like moments of lag, and I even got kicked in games from games. Their servers need to be fixed, and that's not even the bulk of Nintendo's problems with online. Let's get to know more of our Nintendo Switch Online benefits. Let's first start off with cloud saves. How is it that in year 1, going into year 2, that flagship games like Mario Maker 2, Smash, Splatoon 2, I'm not sure about Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, but even Link's Awakening, which comes out this month, they don't support cloud saves. It's ridiculous. If a person somehow breaks their Switch, well, too bad. There's no way to recover it. Especially if the games I mentioned are your favorite games. If you break your Switch, oops. Well, it's too bad because Nintendo didn't make any of those games, and along with many of the other games, eligible for the cloud because they're afraid of cheating. I mean, there's no logical way that people can cheat unless you're like hacking in Splatoon. Worst, why is there still no way to locally back up your saves? There's like a reason why the SD card slot was invented, but there needs to be a way to locally back up your saves and make more titles eligible for the cloud. The special offers. Oh wait, I need to properly rename this. The special offers are more like the buy our service and we'll give you a chance to waste even more money on specials. And these are all in air quotes. Yeah, the Big N really thought this through. Overpriced NES controllers, $100 game vouchers that are pretty much worthless because it's like you buy one and then you don't even save that much money on the discounted game. I'd rather go to Hot Topic and get and use that old buy one get one half off a t-shirt deal. But it's like at least they're starting somewhere. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit. At least they're starting somewhere by offering free trial games with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and Mario Tennis Aces. But still, when you have overpriced NES controllers and $100 game vouchers, when you're charging people more for special deals on top of the service, that's robbery, man. That is highway robbery. I don't have too much to say about the NES games because it's like I never really cared about the NES games outside of Tecmo Bowl and the original Super Mario Bros. On one side, it was because I grew up with the PlayStation 1, and like I only got into a Nintendo through the Wii, like starting with the Wii, and I really got hardcore into it with the Switch. At the same time, I'm like more of like an all-in-one package. I prefer an all-in-one package with like a virtual console format, like having the SNES, the GameCube, the N64, the Wii, etc., etc. So I just hope they introduce like some big package. Like the SNES games, I feel like are not going to be enough, in my opinion, to entice people to come back or like make new people subscribed. Now let's talk about the greatest benefit of all for this Nintendo Switch Online service. Smartphone voice chat. Yeah, who loves to talk to your friends or people online with a smartphone when, oh, willy-nilly, somebody calls you on their smartphone or the battery dies and your session is over. Oh well, too bad. Nintendo wants to force feed smartphone voice chat because it's innovative in their country, but it sucks everywhere else. It's funny because there are like a select third-party games, and there's probably going to be a lot more that implement voice chat on the Switch itself. And it already works with Fortnite, Paladins. It'll probably even work with Overwatch if it comes to the Switch, and there's probably a lot more out there that I don't know about. But like I said, Nintendo needs to implement native voice chat for the Switch, because even though like there are probably a bunch of bratty kids like spitting out a bunch of Fortnite references, like in even games like Splatoon 2 or Smash, there's something called a mute button. A mute button. And I know Nintendo doesn't want to hear it, like those kind of things, but implement a mute button for God's sake. So either implement native voice chat on the Switch itself, or you're gonna see a lot of people like flying away in droves from your online service. So what does Nintendo need to do to convince subscribers, the current ones at least, to stay, as well as new people to subscribe to their service? Well, Nintendo's not gonna listen to my suggestions to improving the Nintendo Switch Online service, as well as probably other YouTubers, but I can offer my suggestions anyway. Add in the very basic features that PlayStation, Xbox, and even PC gaming, which is still free by the way, the online features that they all have. Speaking of one of those online features, the online service of Nintendo needs to be fixed. Whether that's making the current ones more bearable or switching to dedicated servers, the online play needs to be fixed big time. Enough with the lag, enough with the slowdown, enough with the stuttering in your flagship games like Splatoon 2, which actually doesn't have that much of any of the issues I mentioned, but it has those occasional communication errors. But in games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Mario Maker 2, those games need a significant rehaul. But going back to the basic features, messaging system, easier way to make friends, party chat, party groups, and getting rid of the friend codes. Make it easier for us to make friends on the Switch. Make the special offers more intriguing. Nintendo made a good start with offering free game trials. Now it's time to expand the list. And make the cloud saves available to all games, as well as offering non-Nintendo Switch. Make the cloud saves available for all games, as well as offering a local backup option for non-Nintendo Switch Online users. And last but not least, simply adding the SNES games, the Super Nintendo games, they're not going to be enough to make people stay, to be honest. All the issues that I just mentioned, they're all going to overflow over simply adding Super Nintendo games. I mean, for most people at least. Some people will cry to the moon with praise over the fact that, oh yay, SNES games are finally on Nintendo Switch. But the flaws outweigh whatever positive light Nintendo tries to spin on the online service as a great online that is worth keeping $20 a year, when in reality it's not. But even with all these ranting and rambling and suggestions that I just did, realistically, expect Nintendo to just simply announce that Super Nintendo games are coming to the Nintendo Switch Online service, and that'll be that. And people are probably just going to renew their online subscriptions simply because of Super Nintendo games. And to be honest, it'll suck. But those are my expectations, thoughts, opinions, predictions, etc., for this upcoming September 2019 Nintendo Direct. Again, if and when it happens, it'll be something. But don't forget to take all these rumors, that if you are seeing them, with the biggest grains of salt. Don't take them as fact. Just splash some water or salt in your face so you know that it's not true yet. But what do you all think? What do you all think is going to happen in this coming Nintendo Direct, whenever it happens? Let me know in the comments below so we can all have a discussion on it. Anything, nothing is going to happen, again, let's have a discussion on it. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Dislike it, leave a comment, and subscribe, and tap the bell. This is DylanLasagna, and always be delicious. I will see you all in the next one, and I am out.